Hi everyone, it's time for practice time with Ms. Rhona. For those of you who are just tuning in for the first time, my name is Rhona-Mae Arca, and I am a registered music teacher in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. This is a weekly series, where I open up my practice room to the world. So I'm working through sometimes my students' pieces and techniques, and sometimes some of my own projects as well. So hopefully, as you hang out with me in the practice room, you get some practice tips, some hacks, some ideas on how to practice something that you're working on. And even though it might be a piece that you're not working on, if it's from the same style or same time period, same genre, you may still get some really neat practice ideas. If you are one of my students, try the ideas. Some of them you already know. If you're not one of my students, then, discuss some of the ideas with your teacher, give it a try, make the adjustments as needed. And if you do make adjustments, let me know. It'd be interesting to see what improvements you have made to any of the practice drills. I'm going to do some stretching. So actually, first off, I've got to put this screen up. So starting to do my due diligence here. So the affiliate disclaimer, which you've all seen if you've checked out some of the other teacher demos or previous streams. But new is the fair use disclaimer, which I really needed to get on there, especially since I've been sharing little bits of the sheet music as well. So we are covered under the fair use part of our Copyright Act of Canada. Down in the States, I believe it's Section 107 of the Fair Use Act. So, there, due diligence done. Okay, first off on the list, okay, I'll do some stretches, but for those of you who've caught some of the previous streams, one of my teaching friends had given this to me back in December. She retired and figured that my studio with the plushies all around would be a good place for this guy to hang out. Now, my students have spent a good month voting. It was a fierce competition between 3 names. But the winning name is, drum roll, William Beckett the First. So that is Muyao's nomination. So, depending on how he's angled, he is very encouraging, but sometimes he can be very imperious. So, I think he'll be a really great addition here, especially to students who are a little stressed out and need a little pick-me-up, because, that happens. Okay, let's do some warming up and some stretching, just because it's minus 15 degrees outside, Celsius. If you're not in Calgary, or the Calgary area, let me know what it's like where you are. Except for Joe Senpai. I know Joe Senpai is having great weather in LA, so. Okay, so this is good for loosening the wrists. Especially if you're doing a lot of computer work. We tend to house a lot of tension there. So this is good, just don't overstretch. So I'm pushing out and pulling in, but just not to the point of pain. So yes, with the snow coming down pretty heavily and it being minus 15, what does everyone have planned for the weekend? If you have any cool movie recommendations, book recommendations, or game recommendations, please add them down in the comments. My students and I are geeks of all those flavors, so always open to suggestions. Video games and tabletop games, because I have got some students who are, they like both types of gaming, and some are just one camp or the other. So, oh, that's so tight. Okay, shoulder stretches. Okay, so today's theme is, if you missed the opening card there, it's pop songs, and with that, it's working on rhythm. So let me get our first piece good to go here. And I'm just going to get rid of my little disclaimer there. And, oh, I have the wrong piece up. Give me 1 second. There it is. Yeah. Okay, so yes, the important reason for having the disclaimer is since it seems to be working quite well, having the little bits of the music up, just so that you have the same view that I'm seeing. Okay, so this is a student who's in university. Her primary instrument is flute, actually, but she's always been fond of piano. So this is, where did I put the book? I actually have everything organized. My students are quite impressed. So as we complete their lessons and decide whether or not their pieces are making it onto the stream, I stick their music in here, so now everything's all organized. Okay, this is from the Level 2 Contemporary Piano Repertoire book, published by Hal Leonard. And the piece is by Jonathan Larson, and it's graded at grade 2 by the Conservatory Canada, and can be used by Royal Conservatory students as well, because it is, for the most part, grade equivalent. Although I have found that, in general, a piece that might be grade 1 in RCM is, or actually, let me try that again. A piece that might be grade 1 in Concan might be grade 2 in RCM. Although the earlier grades, it's about even. It's only once you get to the higher grades. Okay, so theme, I said, is rhythm. And oh dear, I need if I'm going to be doing scribbling for you guys on the score, I need to grab my tablet. Although I'm not too sure how far it's going to reach. We will try. No, it's like barely. I'll have to come really, really close to the screen. So we'll get cozy. Okay, so rhythm, right? Let's take a look at this. I'm just going to grab where's my pencil? I have a pencil. There's the pencil. So it's really good with rhythm to write in the counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, and sorry, stylus is only, I have to play around with the sensitivity settings and really nail down that rhythm. So clap it out. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. A lot of syncopation in pop music. So that is where the weak part of the beat, or a weak beat, is given extra attention. So actually, that box is too far. Let's move it that way. So the end of beat 2, the weak part of a weak beat, is suddenly made strong with the presence of this rest, forcing it for us to accent that. So it's good to clap that out. As you can see, that rhythm, it comes up quite a bit. Another spot that is a potential rhythm challenge would be here. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So younger students, depending on their music teacher at school, will use the pattern. Oh, let's try not to kick my mochaccino. That would be horrid. They'll use tika-ti for that rhythm that I just covered in the box. So now I'm just going to clap through that little bit. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Next step would be to just maybe try doing it with the left hand. So we've got Okay, hang on. I think I need to make my super cool chair move forward just a smidge. There we go. Oh, I also need to bring my super cool sit-fit disc over. So, give me proper tilt and enough height, because you want to have that nice, healthy L shape. Okay, so that was bar 4. So add this in layers if rhythm is a challenge and coordination is a challenge. So don't even worry about fingers and pitch. Just try to get it hands together. So I'm going to just take that bar again. So this entire bar. I don't know. I should be able to change the color of the box, right? I don't use this program all too often. But it works okay. So taking that spot. So tapping it could go, I'll just go up here. Which way is easier for you to see? I guess over here, hey? So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So I started to lift too early, so I'm going to repeat that. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Cool. That rhythm's okay. I'm going to jump down another line, and we'll just deal with that rhythm up here. So let me just grab my super cool chair, bring it closer so I'm not straining. Okay, so this rhythm, again, with the syncopation, can be a little tricky. Wait, something's off. 1 and 2. Yeah, I totally messed up on that. Oopsie. Okay. 1 and 2 and that should be there. 3 and 4 and. So again, we've got syncopation here and here. So I find one good thing to do in those spots is just, really make it strong. Go big or go home. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. That's what they want. Okay, and then next step would be, so level 2 difficulty would be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now, if the counting the beats is a challenge, then you might just break it down to both, right, both, hold, right, and hold. It really doesn't matter what you say so long as the timing's there. Okay, so next up, I think what I shall do is, I'm just going to run through that. So my students' challenge with this has been just flow. So we've been playing with all sorts of things. Let me just maybe zoom this out just a smidgy. Maybe I'll zoom it out. I'm trying to give you 2 lines to look at. That should be okay. All right. So my student is who's working on this. She plays D&D weekly. So we've been using our D&D dice. So for those of you who aren't gamers, you can buy these polyhedral die, or dice, because plural, at any gaming store or the dice shop. There's a couple of dice shops online as well. Sentry Box in Calgary and Imaginary Wars. There's a few other places, but those are my go-tos. So D8 is quite nice. D12 is great, because we have 12 major keys, 12 minor keys. The D100, which goes up in tens, is great for speed drills. So, there's good old D6 and a D20 somewhere. So my student has been playing around with doing different drills just to work on flow. So she's been doing, where's my D4? Oh, there it is. It's a pyramid. Well, we always have to keep an eye out for it, because if it's just laying around and you accidentally sit on it, it's quite painful. Okay, D4, get back here. Okay. That's it. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, that's okay. I'll just roll this D4. Okay. So we're going to roll, I'm just going to drill bar 3. And maybe we'll do, I'll grab a D6 here. And we'll run through bar 3 times. Okay, so here goes. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Ah! My counting was, I'm stuck up with 3s because I rolled 2 3s. 1, 2, 1. Okay, let's do another bar. Actually, I'm going to roll the D6 for the bars. Bar 1? No, that's like identical to what I just did. Rolling again. Bar 2. There, now we're talking. And I'm going to roll the D4 for a number of repetitions. 3 times. The D4 really likes 3. Okay, so if rhythm and coordination's a challenge, put it together one hand at a time. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Once that feels comfortable, so that's round 1, I'll go to round 2. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Oh, round 2 should have been left hand by itself. 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay. So hands separate, then hands together. Okay, so I'm just going to run through. So bar 2 and bar 4 are identical. So I'm going to run through bar 5. Just so 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So it's good to do a lot of the clapping drills first and get that rhythm solid, and then just add it like an onion, like add a layer. I guess a reverse onion, really. Okay, and for Flo, yeah, like I said, she's playing around with the dice drills, drilling different spots. We've also been playing around with playing things backwards. That is actually a drill that I learned at a martial arts seminar. So for instance, I'm just going to go up to bar 3, and I'm going to read right to left. So So since this has to be held by the time B4 comes on, I'm just going to play it now. We discussed how this uses a lot of HP and MP. Not so much HP, actually, more MP, so you know your special powers, your mana. So that was backwards. I'm now going to play it forwards. So. For some reason, taking a treble spot and making it, like, increasing the level of difficulty from 1 to 100 seems to make a difference. And then by the time you get back to the actual piece, playing it as it is written, you're like, well, why was I having problems with it? So that's what my students and I have been playing around this week with. Okay. Now we're closing that down. Okay, so next piece, I'm actually going to, I'm trying to move banners. It's not working very well. Okay. We'll do faded next. So I have a student. Oh, I was playing around with boxes, and I've got a whole bunch of boxes here. Take a peek. Oh well. We'll just leave them there for now. They're not in the way, so I guess I could just undo. undo doesn't want to happen. Okay, I'll just get rid of. I can do thin lines, I can do rulers. Okay, I'm just gonna leave it alone. How about that? Okay, so this, my student and I got off of MuseScore. So if you go down to the video description, you can get the link where we ordered it from. It is, I think, probably the most popular piano arrangement that I've seen on there. And I was introduced to it last year or the year before when one of my brother's students played it at a recital. So, beautiful song. This is going to be played by a student of mine who she's waiting for surgery for her shoulder, so she's going to be playing one-handed for a little bit longer. And her friend is going to be playing, I believe it's Barry sax. So their theory assignment is going to be to take that. Can I grab one of these boxes? Oh, it's not going to let me. So their assignment is going to be, it's just really not letting me. Okay. Maybe I can just get rid of all of these boxes, yeah. Okay, so now the boxes are getting in the way. Let's find my comment thing. I'll grab this box. So my student and her friend, they're going to have to transpose this because the Barry sax is a transposing instrument. I believe it's a B-flat instrument. Although I think the last time we transposed, they transposed down a third. That would make it an E-flat instrument. Or wait, up a third, down a sixth. Yeah, that would make it an E-flat instrument then. Either way, I'm leaving it to them. I did the transcription for them last year. They're in grade 12 at school. I think they can handle this transposing job. And then my student will be working on the chords. So I promised her I would run through this. We'll just go through the beginning parts. So, pop songs. Most of them use 4 chords. Are we okay with this view, or would you rather have the other view where we've got everything? Actually, that does give you a really good view of everything. So maybe we'll keep it that way. Let me know what your preference is down in the comments. Okay, this is not the piece I'm working on. Oh, you know what? The printout is way back in the office. It's okay. I'll just read off of the same screen that you're looking at the moment. Okay, so pop songs, rock songs, they're 4 chord songs. Master this pattern. So it's usually 1. This is 1, 6. And then we go down to G. 3. And then 5. No, that's not even 5. That is 7. This is a different pattern. Usually, the most common pattern is 1, 5, 6, 4. Mind you, if we're thinking in G major, same key signature. I believe this ends in G, doesn't it? Let's take a skim. Okay. Yeah, there's no D sharps, so I guess technically, yeah, we are still feeling it in G major. So then that'll be 6, 4, 1, 5. Primary chords, just a slightly different order. So yeah, good to master the chords. You're not getting a good side view there. Hope that helps. Down to C, G. Now those of you who've been playing piano for a while know that you can do it in various inversions. You can switch to that C major first inversion. You just have to move one note, see? Easy peasy. Okay, so here. So the quickest way to G and the quickest way to D. There. Get to know the chords in both hands. Do it this way as well. So this is keyboard style. With rhythms. You can borrow them from your favorite songs. Quoting. And then another idea that my students can play with will be doing this kind of broken chord. Last thing I'm going to suggest, and this is really good keyboarding practice for me. Awesome. Thanks, Haley, for picking this. Okay. Walking bass. So watch my left hand. Maybe what I'll do is, just so you can watch that left hand a little bit better, is we'll do this. We'll do that, but we're going to use this camera. Oh, how do we, hang on. That's maybe not, that's not quite what I wanted to do. Okay, we'll just leave it like that then. Okay, watch the left hand. That's what's known as a walking bass. You're just walking, stepping up and down, fiddling around with the rhythm to the next bass note. Now, as I said, my student is going to be doing the piano part while her friend will do the melody and the saxophone. But they might decide at some point in time that she's going to maybe take the second verse, so she'll have to work on that rhythm. Again, that's an example of syncopation. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and. That's probably as far as she's going to get, really. And hopefully that gives you a few ideas on what to do. Because with pop songs, we have a bit more flexibility. We don't have to play it exactly as written, and a lot of these transcribers they've done all sorts of different things to it. So basically, we have options. Let's leave it at that. Okay, so I'm gonna scroll back up again. We're gonna move to this. So this isn't exactly a pop song per se, but it's done in the pop style. This is my same student who's working on this. It's a piece for right hand alone. Let's see, Joyce, she composed a book called, Left Alone and Right On. Yeah, there's definitely been a need for more music for one hand. Because injuries happen, strokes happen, stuff happens, right? Okay, so here, with this kind of arrangement, or this kind of piece, it's right hand has to take care of the harmony and the melody. So one thing you can do, I'm just going to move that up a bit, hey? There we go. One thing you can do is just break it down. So deal with the rhythm, or melody first. That rhythm repeats a lot. nice and solid, right? I need to give you the music. You aren't seeing the music, so let's get that up there. Boom. So, a lot of times, musicians really love their sequences, or composers. Because look, that pattern happens 3 times before we see a change over here. Right? So, that seems to be very common. So rhythm-wise, yeah, not too much of a big deal. It's just once the right hand has to play the harmony on top, or underneath, I should say. Oh, let me actually grab the music. I don't need to read it on the screen. You need to read it on the screen. I can read it in the RCM Piano 18's book. So my student and I were talking about how some of these stretches are tricky. So don't forget that you could actually move in to the fall board. Why is this called the fall board? Because it falls. Nothing too technical. I forgot that pedal change, dang it. So, but this also kind of brings out an important thing that makes this kind of related to the pop songs. So we've got this pattern, but harmonically, let me get the next line up. You're only seeing the first line. I will move it back for you. Then that'll be a bit easier. Boop. So you can see, let's see if I can change the color of my boxes. I get a rectangle tool, but what if I want a different color? Okay, maybe we'll just do pencil. So yeah, if you look here, come on. We've got this pattern where that downbeat is moving down in steps. So just like the pop chord songs, master the pattern. Master that pattern, then you don't have to think too hard. And then it changes. And I think that is pretty much all we need to highlight for today on this one. So we'll just zip along to the next piece. So we are going to level up a smidge here. Boom. To that piece. So this was highlighted a few weeks ago, I think in the video game, J-pop, and anime practice session. Oh, I should do a shout out. My music staff, thank you for the swag. If you're a music teacher watching this and you do not use My Music Staff, highly recommend as a studio management platform. So this rhythmically has its challenges. So it's a good one to have on this in this session. Like, look at that. That is syncopation at its finest. So let me grab. I mean, we can count 1 eandi, 2 eandi, but I really like the whole animated alligator that my prof from university taught me. let me grab text box. Give you text box. So yeah, using words instead of one Andy, two Andy, Anna, me, Ted. I know syllabically it's not totally correct, but there you go. Okay, so with animated alligator, oh, I don't want that. With animated alligator, each syllable is worth a 16th note. You could use it for 8th notes as well. So then this A here would be, let's see, can I do this? Yes, I should be able to. No, give me a circle. It might give me a circle. Yeah. So yeah, each 16th worth a syllable. So ne, me, Ted, and then come on. Maybe I can make it work. Oh, there we go. Copy. No. Yeah, this is my least favorite of the PDF editors, but I mean, it does the trick. It's free. It is a little bit more awkward when I'm not using my stylus. Everything's a bit more awkward. So that'll be worth 2 syllables there. Okay, so let me just get these circles out of the way so it's just a little bit easier for you to see. Excuse me. So, drilling rhythm. Excuse me, sorry. It's dry. The joys of living in Alberta. Okay, so I'm going to clap that part in the box. So, animated alligator. Animated alligator. Really ticklish. Okay, I'm going to break into my Japanese candies. These are my stash. Let's go with lemon or apple. Let's go lemon. Lemon's good. Oh, I'll just grab apple. Apple's also good. Okay, so one thing to do would be to really just keep drilling that section. Hi there, thanks for tuning in. We are dealing with rhythm today. So that rhythm in the box, and then the animated alligator on the top left-hand corner there on the screen. I'm using those to count instead of going 1E, Andy, 2E, Andy. So I'm just going to clap that again. Animated alligator, animated alligator. So, in a normal practice situation, drill that until it's automatic. I'm just kind of speeding through this. Left hand, so that one's a little bit more straightforward. That's just animated alligator, animated alligator. Then the next step would be to just tap it out. Don't worry about pitch, don't worry about fingering. So that'll be, again, I keep looking on the screen, the same screen you're looking at, when I have the music. Oops, tossing things around. It's much easier on the eyes to be looking at the sheet music. So, tapping together. In this case, it might be easier to think both. Left, right. And then once you get that super fast, you can carry on. Okay, so let's say that my student has been going through this a few times and she's feeling more comfortable. Now we can start playing around with adding fingers and stuff. Now she is a little bit farther along. I think her goal was to get to the bottom of the page, so I should at least read through to the bottom of the page. but I'll get that bar. So. Key signature. Dang it. Animated alligator. Animated alligator. I don't know what to do for fingering on that. That might be the easiest, honestly. That might be better, so you can take your thumb there. That's not a G. That's an E again. Move it down to the bass clef then. That would be my advice to you, Shigeo-san. Okay. I'm gonna pull this out so you can see it better. Where's my zoom out? There. So let's get this for you. Okay, so when trying to work this through, just work on the problem spot and then add on. So again, think onion, think layers. Or think Lego bricks. So you're dealing with one block and then you're going to add another block and then another block and, build the house. Or a pirate ship. I think I need to actually maybe write in the fingering there. I want to do 5, 3, 2, 1. Oh, I guess I could, and then I could put 5 there. Main thing is you got to make sure your thumb's on that note. The other thing was doing this. But I physically find that awkward. That doesn't seem ergonomically smart. Whereas this has a better reach. So I think maybe I will play around with that fingering. Yeah, don't be afraid to experiment with different fingering either. Even if the fingering is listed in an edition, and we do have a bit of wiggle room, the composer or the editor does not have the same hand size as us. So if that's 2, then maybe I can make that 5 on A, and then still get, or I could do 4. Just so long as 1 is on the D, I think, and then my hand should be happy. Okay, and then we'll do that one more time, and then I'm gonna add another layer, or add another block. Oh, I missed that. Okay, I think I'll just very slowly add the bar before it. Oh, actually I should look at the bar before it too. Okay. We'll pretend that I've gone through that a few times. If my student is checking this out afterwards, do the treats drill on this before you move on. So with those arpeggiated chords, like the one in the beginning of line 2, don't feel compelled to do that. Think of a guitar strumming. So you strum, your fingers are already down on that bottom string. So in this case, we're strumming the other way, and our hand is on the last string, or last 3 strings, because I think this A is a 3-string chord note. So. Interesting. Okay, where else will she have issues? Possibly the next line, and then it starts to repeat. Because once she gets to, or once you, if you want to get this, link below, down in the description to the sheet music. Yeah, because once you hit bar 13, it's like a rinse and repeat of a previous bar. Lots of repetition in music, really. You just have to look for patterns. Okay, so I'm going to zoom in on bar 9, just because it's a little bit different. It's always good to drill those transitions for when things change. So bar 9, I shall put a little box on. There. More specifically, I want to drill like that passage at the end of the line, rhythmically. So let's actually take a look at that. So we have animated alligator, animated alligator. And then left hand is down in bass clef now. No, well, it's in both bass clef, so animated alligator. Interesting. Okay, so I'll drill that again. Just trying to think of fingering, because that is, I mean, that might be what we have to do. That might be the easiest, honestly. So. So if you're a student working on this, I would recommend doing treats drill. So if you haven't checked out a previous practice, or you're not one of my students, just grab some treats. Not messy treats. So each time you get through that spot satisfactorily, you move a treat closer to you. So let's try that again. So yeah, redo. Treat closer to tummy again. Mucked up. Treat farther from tummy. So we'll try that again. The rhythm was there, but I hit some wrong notes. So since we're dealing with the rhythm, I'm just not going to worry about that. We will call that a success. Try to fix just one thing at a time. Our brains can't handle too much when you're trying to change something. And when all the treats are over across, closer to your tummy, you've got enough consistency for today. You will have to repeat the drill a few more times. And then once it's consistent, you can declare it fixed. Although you might still need periodic review. Okay, so hopefully that helps my student working on rhythm. Oops. The handles on this gaming chair change way too easily. Okay, so moving on to the next piece. Oh, hoo-hoo. Yeah, of course we get to the hard parts. Yeah, my student working on Kill This Love. So at the beginning of the year, we played around with a different version of this. We found this on MuseScore. Links down below if you want to order the music. Done by Cage's Music, this arrangement. This looks a lot more piano friendly than the one that we ordered on MuseScore, as you can see. My student asked me to kind of go through, which part? Maybe I marked it in the score. There's a part where she's kind of merging the old version with the new version. And I should get the sheet music up so you can see it. There you go. So this arrangement is by Cage's Music, original by Blackpink. I'm not too sure if Blackpink actually has sheet music out, but thanks to Cage's Music, this is a pretty decent piano arrangement. Let's take a look at bar 25 today. So that's an interesting rhythm there. And what my student's been playing around with is kind of merging that with the previous version, which actually has half notes for that left hand instead of those dotted. It's kind of interesting. Again, it really does help to have the chords. It is a 4-chord song after all. Okay, rhythm-wise, let's just kind of zoom in on, and let me give you a better view of that line, this line. Actually, hang on. We'll deal with these two lines today. Come here, square. Okay, so rhythm-wise, right hand. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. Pretty steady. The main thing is those triplets have to be even. One year I had two students. They were like huge Pokemon fans. So we did Pikachu, 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 Pikachu. Made it fun. But then the next line, so bar 25, you have to think not in triplets. So it'll be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and. So that's that version. The other version, I'm just going to get this set up here. That was 25. Yeah. I'm going to play the two. Just the two sections. So starting just zooming in completely on bar 25. And let's see. So I'll do what you have in front of you. So we got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. I can read really. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 interesting. Now, the version that we originally were working in has this. And then it does this. C. I don't know. Neither of them seem to be that great, especially for a young student with small hands. Rhythm-wise, you get the idea that's slightly different. I mean, this part's the same. It's the left hand. That's... Yeah, I think my student did say she's going back to the other version for at least that rhythm. So let's see if we can merge the two. Ooh, the joys of being a piano player. Merging different versions. Looking at different lines. I like could do that. Let's try. Yeah, don't be afraid to kind of mix and match. I mean, if you're doing an exam, yeah, it depends on which conservatory. If it's RCM, yeah, you gotta play what's on the page as best you can and adjust if absolutely necessary. Concan, you got a bit more flexibility. I can't really speak to the other conservatories because there's only so many conservatories one brain can handle. So there's CNCM, Canadian National Music Conservatory. What else do we have? Oh, I think some teachers are still following ABRSM, the Associated Board in the UK. There's London College or Trinity. So there's some good ones. But rhythm-wise, I mean, you've got options, and then a little farther down, there's this kind of rhythm. I think with a lot of this, especially the pop stuff, you just have to... I mean, this is an opportunity to pick out stuff by ear. Oh, I have to change my mic. Give me a sec. So hi, everyone. This is just a little bit of a redo since Friday's session had that little technical glitch where I forgot to... I turned on this microphone, but I forgot to turn the microphone on from the streaming platform. So the last couple of pieces had no sound. So not particularly helpful. So let's just do a quick run through of that. So the theme was rhythm. And just going through some treble spots. So I'm just trying to find the spot here. Oh, yes. Here we go. Found it. Okay, so let's just take a quick look at this. If you want to order this book, it's a fantastic book. I've put the link down in the description. So it's note for note keyboard transcriptions queen. Okay, so rhythm here is a bit of a challenge. I'm just going to write in the counts because that's always a good thing to do. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So a lot of syncopation. So what I mean about that is that, oh, that is so not what I wanted to do. That I was supposed to erase. There we go. Okay. All right, so syncopation is, here's an example. So beat 1 is usually strong, but beat 1's got to rest. And then, so that comes down on the weak part of the beat. This comes down on the weak part of an even weaker beat, and this comes down on a weak beat as well. So that's syncopation, where weak beats or weak parts of beats get accented. So it is really important to get that rhythm. So I'm just going to deal with the notes on top there, but it would be good to clap that. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So get that solid. That's how I would deal with that while practicing. So playing wise, hang on, I just need to grab my handy dandy cushion. So I have tilt and I'm at the right height. I could make this higher, but tilt is good. Tilt is better. Okay, so it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and is the rhythm there. I'm not sure why I'm looking at it on the screen versus in the music. Looking at it on the same screen that you're looking at it. Okay, so the other spot my student wants me to review, I think, is... No, I think that was it. It was mainly there, and the page before, which I believe has a similar rhythm. Here she had goofy notes. I think we sorted out the goofy notes, though. Oh, yes. So, yeah, the same issue was over here. Except no rest. It's with the rhythm. Not much emphasis is given on what is normally a strong beat. So that is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So again, 2 and 3. So those are the big things to worry about there rhythmically on this page. Now the one thing with this version is, as you can see, the vocal part is above and then the piano part is below. So if you were playing this as a solo piano piece, then my advice as an accompanist and as a teacher would be to bring some of these down and play them here. But I mean, this is quite high, to be honest. So the 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. So to do that and then come back down might be a bit awkward. You can play around with just maybe moving it down to make it easier to play. That's fine. We all don't have Freddie Mercury's insane vocal range. So here, what to do with this part. So generally, the chords are following, at least on the strong part of the beat, what is sung, but it's just coming down on the downbeat, like on the strong parts of the beat. Again, if you're doing this as a solo piece, I would play these melody notes then. So it would be... Comme ça. And that would be my practice tips for those sections. Okay, so the other song that totally got missed out on Friday with the no sound issue is Racing into the Night. But let's see if I can say that in Nihongo. Keru is the last I think yoru is in there as well, because yoru is night. Here we go. I've got one that's in the romaji. Yoru ni kakeru. So my student wanted to hear that rhythm in bar 9. So 9 and 10. So we'll just take a quick look at that. That is not it. Let's just find this. So I've got the links down below to where you can get this. We got this on MuseScore. So thank you. Fan transcriptions are great. So we are going to look at the rhythm here, these 2 bars. Okay. There. And we'll cross into the next bar there. Woo! Okay. So, always good to write in the counts if you are stuck. Although, 16th notes. I had a teacher who had me just this helped me get my 16th notes a lot more even. And what my teacher had me do was, there's really not enough room. I didn't make this big enough. Okay, I'm just going to get rid of that. Where's my eraser? Bye-bye. Okay. So I've drawn out 2 beats here, all 16th notes. The idea is you would assign a syllable to each 16th note. And in this case, my teacher had me say animated alligator. And if you're saying it evenly, your hands are going to want to play it evenly. If you don't say it evenly, well, you're going to hear it really quick. So there is that tendency for the hand to just want to follow. So what to do in this part? So this will be animated, alligator, animated, alligator. So on the top, animated, alligator, animated, alligator. So putting that together, I would tap that. So let's do this. So good to tap it first. If rhythm is the thing to work on and coordination, then just go in layers. So level 1 difficulty, clap 1 hand at a time. So animated, alligator, animated, alligator. We'll pretend that I clapped the right hand already. So that would be, level 2 difficulty would be to tap it hands together. So animated, alligator, animated, alligator. So have to do that a few times if it's kind of new to you. And then, you could do a level 3 difficulty, which would be just, random notes. So animated, alligator, animated, alligator. And then piece it all together. So level 4. Oh, wait, that's down an octave, isn't it? So animated, alligator, and then animated, and then up here, alligator. Okay, and then let's take a look at bar 10. I'll have to run through this a few times. So fan transcriptions are great, but you also have to just be careful. So, because some of these versions aren't written pianistically. and some of them are written for people with way bigger hands. So my advice to anyone who's looking at J-pop, K-pop, anime tunes, video game tunes, show them to your teacher. My students know this already, but we need to look at it and sort out if we need to make any adjustments to make it safe for you to play, because injuries are a thing, and with our fine muscles, here, and ligaments, and the tendons, they take a long time to heal, and sometimes they don't fully heal. So you want to take care of those. Those are widely spaced chords, so golfer's elbow and tennis elbow is also a thing. So don't be afraid to simplify these. If you're doing it for an exam or music festival, they'll understand. If you're doing an RCM exam and this is your own choice, I would, your teacher probably knows this. If your teacher's me, I know this. Write in the changes, the simplifications, because it's not worth trashing your hands. Okay, let's get back to it. So the rhythm for bar 10, let's tackle that. So again, level 1 difficulty. Let's deal with, let's see. So this will be animated alligator, animated alligator for rhythm. And then the 8th note straight up 2 syllables per 8th note. So I'm just going to clear that out of the way just so it's easier to look at. You don't need to have that. So a case of simplifying, like check out that left hand. So we've got good old classic stride piano, usually played by guys with big, huge hands, like Oscar Peterson and Pat Waller and all those guys. So that's, no. So take a look at what I'm doing here to help save my hands. Don't stay locked out. And oh gosh, this is so sounding like martial arts class. Don't lock out the joints. So play the octave, relax. 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 So do this and exaggerate while it's still in learning mode. When you speed up, it will be a smaller motion, but at least you'll still have the motion. Checking the mic. So. And then right hand. Oh. Animated alligator, animated alligator. Fingering. Oh, good grief. I guess, yeah, pinky, I guess. Yeah. I mean, a lot of times you want to avoid putting your thumb and pinky on black notes. And think about scale fingering. There's a reason why we do that scale fingering. It's mostly logical. But some keys, it's just not possible to do where you're putting something else other than thumb and pinky. Again, let's try this all together. Okay, so. I'm going to go really slow because this is widely spaced and I'm trying to be far enough that I can see my hands through the periphery. 130. That sounds, well, I mean, that's what, standard OP speed? I've got 132 on a normal metronome. 1 and 2 and. Ew, 1 and 2 and. That sounds hideous. 1 and 2 and. Yeah, those with small hands might want to bring that in closer, so. Alright, that was, wait. You could drop the lower octave, the world's not gonna miss it. The main thing is with pieces, again, with, like I said, hang on. So the main thing with pieces like this is, yeah, don't kill your hands. Don't kill your hands. It's not worth it. So that is it. So yeah, sorry about the mic glitch there last week, but wanted to make sure that this was covered. So that is it. So thank you for watching the videos. Sorry again to those who caught it, the original version, and had the the silence there probably tuned out, because that would be hard to listen. Kind of hard to get much out of it. So again, yeah, thanks for checking out the video. Be sure to check out some of the new ones. Let me know if you like the new format. And catch you next time. Don't forget to hit like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Bye!